Hey guys, welcome back to Diving Deep in Thought. You're here with Elias, and today we're going to talk about how we can find more meaning in life, more vitality, and just giving you a sense of appreciation for the small things every day. Because we always have this idea that the dream situation or scenario is going to come into place in our minds. And what it does is it temporarily puts us at ease, and it makes us feel as if the current moment isn't worth living out to the fullest or isn't worth appreciating completely, because we think this current moment now is not a piece of the puzzle for that future destination of uh, you know absolute success or perfection. So what you've got to do is understand that right now, this exact moment is actually preparing for whoever you're going to be in the future. And the daily activities and habits that you have are actually paving the way to who you're going to be in the future. So it's really important to appreciate every activity. And the best way to appreciate every activity throughout the day is to reduce our reliance on external things making us happy. So we're basically detoxing the dopamine from we get from sugary foods or high fat foods. Um, you know, Gossiping about people or misleading other people, that would give you a spike of dopamine. Or so what we're doing is we're eliminating these sources that are making us spike in our pleasure senses. And a good way of doing this is instilling values into ourselves, or rules that we have on a daily basis, to get us out of that mindset of, does this make me feel good? Because all we're doing is on a daily basis is chasing pleasure, avoiding pain. So that's the root driving force behind every action that we do. And it usually, if you usually pleasurable, you all throughout the whole day you're feeling good and you're feeling like you're on top of the world, as in you don't have much challenge in your day, then that means that you are being controlled by all the external sources around you, in terms of you're just going with the flow at work, you're eating whatever feels good and tastes good, you're just endlessly watching series on TV that are taking up time. So these are obviously making you feel good, and they may make you feel content today, but the game plan of life is that whatever you do today is preparing for the future version of yourself. So if you're happy being who you are today in 5 years and having those habits, then this shouldn't affect you. But if you're someone who wants to step up in terms of their intelligence, their physical strength, their conviction in life, the direction in life, financial security, physical health, all these areas, you need to invest in that today. And you're not going to see it instantly. It's going to take time. So you got to understand how long these goals take. So to improve your body significantly, you're going to start seeing results in about 3 to 4 months, depending on how hard you train and how well you eat. So everything takes time. You have to factor in that time. And our thoughts have this time perception that I'm going to start next week or next month. And all we're doing is delaying the work. But in actual fact, the work must be laid down today to appreciate it in 2 or 3 months. So it's really important to overcome this procrastination. And the best way to overcome procrastination is to plan things. Have one rigid plan, hold yourself accountable to that plan, and just get very familiar with that plan that you've written. And that plan should consist of daily tasks or rituals that you do habitually every day, in order to work on small areas of your life that'll compoundedly reap rewards for you. So a small thing you could do is going for a 15-minute walk every day after work. Another thing you could do is cut out soft drinks. A third thing would be reading 5 pages of a good book every day. Another one would be 5 minutes of absolute silence every day, observing the thoughts that enter your mind. So you're not really thinking, you're just sitting there in silence. And I know the stigma behind meditation is that it's meant to make you this mystical being, but meditation is one of the most powerful ways of decluttering the thoughts in your mind and creating stillness and clarity in which you can direct your life, not off impulse, but from a direct control point of view, a stoic mentality, rather than an emotional, responsive mentality. So you're not easily influenced, you have a lot more conviction, you're hitting your tasks with greater intensity and more passion than you ever have before. So meditation's been one of the most powerful things I've ever done, and I've been doing it for over a year now. And everyone's style of meditation is different. There's no one way. So there's apps, you're just obviously sitting in silence, there's transcendental meditation where you focus on one word or sound that makes it so dull for your mind and your thinking that it invites the subconscious thoughts to arise, and there's deeper thoughts come through. And in doing that, you start to face your blockages in your daily activities. But the main thing is to take action and have some conviction and emotion behind every action you take. And by reducing these dopamine sources from your life, what it's doing is you're getting to the true nature of who you really are. And what that does is it actually makes you face yourself. You got to remember, dopamine is adding all these layers of comfort on top of you. When someone, for example, rejects you, what's the first thing you do? You cancel out that pain with food or talking about them to someone else, and that does alleviate it instantly. But then in a delayed, after some time, what tends to happen is you build up these bad natures. So in that moment of reaction, where you have space between what you're thinking and what you're acting, meditation creates that gap where you can think of a positive thing to do to reverse that rejection. And the positive thing to do to reverse that rejection is to understand why you feel that way and why you have given so much power to someone who's rejected you. You got to remember, rejection doesn't mean you're less worth than you are right now. If someone rejects you now, all it means is they're not compatible with you, and that compatibility may tell you something about yourself that you don't see, that has been blindsided for years. And that person may be, in some sense, constructively giving you constructive criticism so that you can improve. So the flip is, you're always going to have these problems on a daily basis. But when you get to a level where you can interpret these problems more deeply, you don't see them as attacks anymore. You see them as streams of growth and streams of change and catalysts for change. So you use the rocks people throw at you to build your own fort. And what that does is it increases your self-worth, it puts a new frame on how you perceive your life, and it propels you forward. So it's all about the mindset. That's all meditation does, is it takes you from impulsive action to progressive and controlled action. So when you start to meditate, when you start to see your true worth, you will start acting on it. And the more you act on what you believe you're worth, and you act on improvement, the more you grow, the more you seek, then the more you grow. So your problems don't get smaller, they get bigger. But they don't become problems, they become challenges. And they grow you to be in the best version of yourself. So that's all I've got to tell you guys for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And please like, subscribe, and share to someone who you believe will also enjoy this. Thanks, guys.